Okay, guys, hello. And today I would like to maybe not help but more rather mention and remind you that before you going out in the open world, or you going out in the open world as soon as you wake up, because that's your inner world, right? And you are inside of it, but when you wake up, you already get exposed to all the outer shit, even in your room. And that goes also beyond your room, which is like your flat, and that goes beyond your flat, which is your staircase, and that goes beyond your staircase, which is like your street, and so on and so on and so on. And how it is important maybe to get yourself together before you do something, and like having that intention that you had before doing something, or as soon as starting something, but down the line, depending on different other things that may pop up and stuff like that, like your phone called or somebody asked you for something and shit like that. How not necessary they are, and to some degree those may be like, I can say demons, but not in the way that you may expect it. Maybe it's more in the way that you just have different ideas and thought processes like popping up and shit like that. And due to the fact that they are not aligned with your intentions and the stuff that you do right now, and they just distract you, you can look at them as demons in that way. So nothing spooky, nothing spooky. But yeah, why is it is important for you to get yourself together and remind yourself um, the time when you do that specific tasks. But that specific task can be not only like you drawing something, but it can be you investing yourself into the whole goddamn career for 10 years long, down the line and stuff like that. But you have to keep that intention in your mind why you did it in the first place. Because like how I came to this all, I feel like every time I have to say how I came to this all, so low key, it will bring more understandingness and clarity to the shit that I'm saying and stuff like that. Yeah, but how I came to this was like, I was just laying down and shit like that, and I was like, I imagine in my mind that I go outside, and the whole family is in the house, and before me going out to something that I looked forward to, now the family members started to throw their shades on me. But it's just an imagination, right? But it can also happen. Maybe it happens. It happens to not only with me though. And it's like, especially like when you mention it, when you mention something before going out and to somebody else, and they are not aligned with that vision the way you see it, because we can see the same light, the same image in different ways, depending on the mood of a person, depending on his culture, depending what he desires, depending on other variety of other different aspects which can influence the perspective in which this person looks at this specific image, type shit like that, right? So to some degree, not every physical image, or just a image, a representation, an embodiment of some type of image which is being portrayed to you, doesn't mean that the person next to you or the friend that is along came a long way with you sees it in the same way. And by you even expressing that you are your intentions for this image and what you're trying to do it, and you're going about it, may put some blemishes and put some shadows on this thing due to the fact that you expressed it to the person that you didn't have to express it, right? So like, let's take the example of a family member, because you may experience it a lot and shit like that, depending on you too. But yeah, let's say you are into some type of hobby which is something new to your family line, family tree, or the household in general, right? Let's say you are making kites, right? You're making kites because you can make kites. Why not? You know, you can make amazing, beautiful kites, and especially, I think it may be even hella popular now to this day. You know, just like, just put some, just to add some mood into it. You know, add some colorful thingies in the background, which will show the person that he can express his own imagination, his own creativity into something which will be not competed but expressed on the stage where everybody will try to do it, and then you can have different collaboration based on different perspectives on how to do a kite and shit like that, you know. But yeah, let's say this person wants to do a kite, right? He does kites, but he does it low key, but still you may like the household and the family and the parents and shit like that, they may see some parts of it being done, right? So they will just pass around and they're like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, I'm doing kites and shit, and it's like, okay. And that's it, right? But let's say, yeah, you're doing kites like for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and now there's a big opportunity that arose in your city, which is like, show me your talents or show me your kite and shit like that, you know, show me, give me a suggestion, and I will sponsor it, shit like that, right? And then you have this person who is into doing kites, and he's like, oh yeah, I can go there, I can actually give my I can express my vision, I can express my hobby doing kites, and actually tell them that it in the future, in the nearest future, close future, it may be something very beneficial, maybe not important but beneficial, and something healing or something that can progress, right, in the nearest times and shit like that. And now you're sitting at home and you actually understand it because you have this type of vision that you understand nobody else in your household will understand, right? And you understand like, bro, that's the shits, that's the shits. In the way I will explain it, that's definitely the shits, you know. Maybe if I'll say it, tell it to my friend, he will understand it, but he will not even be able to express it in the way that I'm expressing it, due to the fact that maybe he's not as much as invested into it, or just there's not this type of vibe of expressing that vision that you see, you know, because you're, let's say, in that type of, like, you see that vision, right, and that vision makes you feel some type of way, which, let's say, creates a pull, right, metaphysically creates a pull, and you, due to the fact that you are sitting in this pool, you're adapting it to time with time, right? And based on that pool, you get new ideas and shit like that. And maybe your friend, who you will express your vision to, he'll not be in the same pool. He may be in a different pool, therefore he'll have different ideas about it, right? Even expressing the same way. So yeah, so basically going back to this person going out and trying to explain that doing kites is the shits. So yeah, so you have this person getting ready and stuff like that. He woke up in a good mood. He's like, I know I'm the shit. I know my shits is the shits. I know I will go there and everything what I'll say will bring the shits, good shits, and I'll get my money and shit like that for the stuff that I was investing into and shit like that, right? Now he's getting ready and shit like that, and now it's time for him to get out, right? And he's getting out. And before he was going out, his parents saw that he is getting ready for some, and they're like, "What?" Because, you know, you're not just going outside just like randomly and shit like that. You know, where you can just pull over. You can pull a hoodie on, which like brush your teeth and just go out. You know, but here you're like trying to look professional, right? And now you have parents asking, grandparents, parents, sisters, brothers, mostly parents, maybe grandparents, asking you like, why you're getting ready for. And here you can either lie, I think it will save you the headache, or you can just say what are you trying to do. And the thing is, like, if you can lie, right? You can lie, and you can make like a easy lie, you don't have to go deep into that. But here you lied, true, but here you're saving a headache from the stuff that you will gain if you will say it, and you have the other side of you saying what you're actually gonna do. So you're telling them like you're going on a competition of kites for you to show your kites and shit like that. And depending on your parents, if your parents are more into like themselves and stuff like that, then they will blame you. But your parents who are more into you, but in a way that they are not selfish, but they're more into you due to the fact that they see that you enjoy doing stuff that you like to do and stuff like that. You know, it's like you're enjoying to do the stuff that you do and shit like that. And they're like, oh yeah, yeah, and now he has an opportunity for him to express the stuff that he likes to do. Damn, that's amazing. So you have those parents, and then you have another parents maybe that are, yeah, we want the best for you, blah blah blah, so don't do this kites and shit like that, right? So yeah, so let's say you're going out and you had all this like good emotions, good feelings of you being the shits, and as soon as the moment that you express this little light of yours to them, depending on if they are aligned or they are not aligned, that will lead to them putting blemishes and shades and all the different stuff in you and shit like that, right? So now, but you still don't mind, right? You still have to go there and you're like, yeah, fuck them though. Now you're going out and things like that you receive that information. Now it's still in your head, you know, depending if you can let it fly, then you can let it fly. But not everybody can let it fly, and not maybe every time you can let it fly too. And when you'll go out, it will be mostly like you went out, now you're going, and then randomly those like little flashbacks of even like words or if your family members are starting to pop out, maybe some flashbacks from like way longer before you even started to do kites popped up, you know, and now it's building more and more and more and more kind of this poisonous rotten energy inside of you in your summer life, in your fruitly colorful life and stuff like that, due to the fact that you express that you have this fruit, and they were like, oh, let me look at this fruit, let me look at this fruit, and they're like, bam, and it's like, here you go, you can take your fruit, but you already have like some type of poison in it, you know. It's like the same when you, for example, do some type of soup, or maybe, you know, you have a soup or some type of jar open with like some jam in it, and I think yeah, and you put some, when it's originally made, you know, some naturally made, and you'll put a spoon that was already used into that. After a few days, the stuff that was in the jar will get like poison and shit like that. So the same kind of concept is being done here, where you express your freshly made, just opened, still maybe not even opened jam yet. You just express to show them like, yeah, okay, you can take a sneak peek into my jar. And they put their spoon inside of it. Their used spoon they put inside of your jar, and now with time it will get poisoned due to the fact that you even take in consideration the stuff that the spoons that they even put in your jar. So actually you taking in consideration the words that they say and shit like that, right? So and that not only, so yeah, so then you go down the line and you go to the competition, and now you are already arriving with new type of feelings about the stuff that you were into. Even like if it may be minor difference, there still is the difference, you know. Now I have a video about like depending on your emotion that you fly in, those type of swords you will also take out and shit like that. The same kind of concept that you have here, where you may, you are like in that pool, right, that I mentioned, the perfect, let's say the perfect pool, right? But now it low-key gets poison, and you're still in that pool, but now this pool may be not as hot, not as bubbly, not as warm, comfortable as it was before, and now you may like stumble on different questions, and you may not be able to answer it the way that you were would want to answer it before you went out, and you are not as sure as you were sure about this hobby overall, or like your project before you went out and shit like that, right? So that's how, and then it will lead maybe to even the fact that you didn't win con um, in that context, okay, in that competition of kites, and being then not promoted, but also promoted, but also people will pay for your kites in your business, right? And shit like that, financed, yeah, financed. And then you may think like, oh yeah, I think my parents were right. This kite shit is not the shits and shit like that. I was wasting my time and shit like that. But maybe you just lost because you took in consideration the words that your parents say. Now you're tying this poison, which was not, which was not matching with the jar that you had, right? It was not matching. It's completely two different things that will not come together and shit like that. Now you think that the poison that you got is actually matching, and to some degree maybe with time it will be because you know how poison spreads. It's like first you have a little bit, then you have more, and with time the whole jar will be full of rotten and poison and shits and shit like that, right? So then you, after some time, you may think like, oh, that shit actually is poison. That's not some sweet raspberry, strawberry type of jam that was actually poison that I was having and doing the whole time. Damn. And now with time you have more and more kind of blemishes that you put on yourself. You know, it also ties in with like circles and circles and circles. So the same kind of experience that you have on a small level will lead to a bigger level, right? And it will affect like from one. That's how this poison spreads. It goes from one field to another field, from one field to another field, from that field to another field, and then it goes comes closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and shit like that. Yeah, if you don't pay attention to that shit and shit like that, and don't catch it at the right moment, you know, so then you'll be like, okay, see what's up. And yeah, so now this person may think that actually everything that he was investing into, it was poison, blah blah blah, and then later shit that he will be investing into, he may second question due to the fact that the first stuff that he was into so much didn't work out, and then it turned out to be from a good jar of jam into some poison. Now he thinks everything that he will invest into may turn into poison without him even knowing it at this point. Therefore he will second question. Maybe he will go back with questions to his parents to ask if it's okay for me to do this type shit like that, right? But they are the one to spread poison and shit like that. So yeah, then it gets complicated, and that's it. That's it. That's the end of the video. But I'm joking. Nah. So yeah, but that's like one of the physical representation how it can be, right? And it can go in different type of fields. It can be in the same way. Even you can have this own whole situation within you and yourself, where you, for example, started to draw some type of image or a song, and then with time, because it doesn't take you like 30 seconds, right? It doesn't take you 30 seconds to draw, let's say, a picture, or like make a song. And with time that you're making this song, you'll be in the vibe. The first few minutes that you just got into it, you'll be in the vibe, but the longer, the wider, the longer distance you go away, depending on you too, the longer, depending on how long you can keep the intention inside of you, right? As long as you go, meanwhile you write, meanwhile you do this type of song, this certain specific song. And like the further you go, the maybe more kind of demons that I mentioned before will jump into your head and will be like, bro, this punchline is not good, it's not morally good, bro, this punchline some people will be like, what the fuck, why you have to write, like, why you did that punchline. They will look strange, they will look crazy at me, they will think I'm crazy due to the fact that I'm doing this type of punchlines, these bars. It is a bar though, I know that it's a bar though, but it's not morally correct bar type shit like that, you know. So all that stupid not necessary shits that will attack you as soon as you will do your work. Yeah. So that's why it's also important for you to maybe fight it a long way, you know. So it'll be like you look at something, you'll be like, okay, this idea says that this certain specific bar is not morally correct, and that person, you have an image of that person, right, who would say that specific punchline is not correct. I mean, like morally correct, and an image in a person present, it can be anything, and you can find it like as soon as it comes, right? You're sitting there and it's like this idea pops up and you're like, okay, why this idea popped up? Then you can go deeper on that, but you're also to some degree losing your focus on the stuff that you were writing, right? So that's how maybe the demon works. Maybe he will not affect you, but he will still tell you like, bro, look at me, and you'll be like, yeah, I will look at you, and you're looking at him now. No, you're not paying attention to the song that you were writing, right? And then with time, like the time will go away, now you have to go to work, or somebody will call you and you'll be like, damn, what the fuck, I didn't even write this song and shit like that, right? And then to some degree maybe you'll have poison, which is also kind of goes into the jar, or that pool of comfort that you were in when you came up with that idea to make that specific song, right? So yeah, so you have this different type of representations of demons attacking you, or actually putting like blemishes and shades on your thingies as soon as you express them and shit like that. But you can express them not only with words, you can express them with thoughts, or any type of expression. Like even you just sitting and actually doing a cut physically, which is also an expression, right? Or you doing mimics and shit like that is also an expression. Everything is an expression, Loki. And yeah, so the main moral of this topic was that you always have to get yourself together, right? When some blemishes, some shades were put on you, still try to go with them, still try to I mean, like, it's life, right? It's life, and if you're the one who actually is more mature, you know, metaphysically speaking, spiritually speaking, mentally, emotionally speaking, maybe even physically speaking, if you're more mature, just don't react on those demons, you know. Try to fight them or use them as a bait for later, so they'll be on your leash, right? And then when you walk outside, they'll be the one to sniff their own energy, and you'll be like, okay, I'll not go that way because there's this type of energy, you know. I'll go that way and shit like that. Or just fight them and kill them, and you may use it as a bait. As I said before, you can make a song from it. I also have a video about that, like how to use your depression as a tool or something like that. I don't know. As a slave. Yeah, and that's basically it about demons. So you can look at demons in that way, where something that takes you away from your holy path, right? And your holy path was like in this specific moment to present your kite and win money for that, or make a song and also make money from that. But demons that linger around, you know, maybe that too, who knows. Yeah, and the demons that linger and still may linger around, are getting you away from your holy path, right? So therefore, my guys and girls, I would tell you, just go with your life, but have a remind yourself of, and get yourself together to that pool where you initially, when you firstly initially came from, with that specific idea, you know. So yeah, and doesn't matter if the demons pop up and shit like that. They may pop up, they always pop up and shit like that. You will know who's a demon and who is not a demon, and who you can fuck with and who you don't have to, who you have to cut off, right? Because he's too much of a demon. Sometimes demon, you cannot cut off all the demons. I mean, like, you can cut all of the demons, but some demons, it's like, yeah, you can kind of let it slide, right? Because it's not that heavy. You can just ignore it, you know, and be like, yeah, okay. And just look at the demon, him expressing his like inner darkness and shit like that, right? But yeah, that's basically it, I guess. So yeah, have fun, guys. Take your go with your journey. in the moments when you actually, I mean, like when you need, then get yourself together. Don't be afraid of you getting yourself together, you know, even before you actually like getting a mic. Let's say you got a mic, right, and you now are trying to perform, but now you're getting all these ideas and you're like, bro, I'm not able to perform. Now you're getting hella anxious and shit like that, worried and shit like that for nothing, because you have all these demons popping up in your head. Don't be afraid, maybe I would say at that moment, just to take a time off, like get into your meditative state, into the state where you the one who controls the thoughts that you get and the ingredients that you put inside your pot. And the pot would be like a skull, right? You putting that shit into your brain, into your mind, and then considering it and shit like that, and then even paying attention to that. So yeah, so don't be afraid to actually like get yourself together, and continue doing what you wanted to do. And fuck the demons. Yeah, have fun, guys.